Sweep. What's going on, everybody? Spunky Dice 91 coming guys from the video. Coming at you guys with my Eagles Washington football team week 17 recap. Eagles getting the win against the Washington football team by a score of 20-16. Eagles sweeping the Washington football team for the first time since 2019. It wasn't one of those games that was pretty. It wasn't one of those games where we dominated the entire game. It was one of those games where offensively, we sort of struggled in the first half. You know, we did get a touchdown on them, but we also had a drive in the first half that, you know, we should have scored on, but, you know, couldn't. You know, it was one of those fourth down situations where we didn't convert. But second half, man, just like it's been a good portion of the season, the Eagles are a second half team. While it's frustrating to see them struggle in the first half, you know, it's all about how you finish, not how you start. So, if anything, I'd rather be a second half team than a team that plays well in the first half and then collapses in the second half. So, ultimately, all that matters, you get the W. I take it, right? So, the Eagles got the W. They are now 9-7 on the season. They got one more game next week, division game against the Dallas Cowboys, where they can go 10-7. Not bad for a team that was 4-10-1 last year, right? Not bad at all. But, yeah, man, Eagles beating the Washington football team. Like I said, that first half, Eagles defense was struggling to defend Trevor Heineke. But they came out that second half and just absolutely dominated throughout that second half. Intercepted Trevor Heineke. Rodney McLeod intercepted Trevor Heineke, a diving interception with 26 seconds left on the clock. Still in the victory for the Eagles, 20-16. Now, I'm going to go over these stats here real quick. And, of course, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this game. So, going over the stats here, Jalen Hurts today was 17 for 26, 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So, not really not an exceptional day for him, but he did what we needed him to do to win the game. He played well enough for us to win the game. Running the ball. Boston Scott he had 14 carries for 47 yards, two rushing touchdowns, averaging 3.4 yards a carry. That last touchdown that Boston Scott had was one where Jalen Hurts got his foot stepped on by Jason Kelce, and he fell backwards, but he was able to get the ball to Boston Scott, and Boston Scott was able to dive to the end zone. It was on a fourth and goal. Boston Scott was able to dive in for a touchdown. Jalen Hurts ran 7 times for 44 yards, average of 6.3 yards a carry. Jordan Howard, 11 carries for 26 yards, 2.4 yards a carry. Keenan Gainwell, 1 carry for 4 yards. Jalen Reagor, 1 carry for -3 yards. A negative play there. Now, receiving, catching the ball, Dallas Goedert, 6 receptions for 71 yards. Devontae Smith, 3 catches for 54 yards. Boston Scott, 4 catches for 39 yards. Greg Ward had 2 catches for 35 yards. Quez Watkins, 2 catches for 15 yards. Like I said, Rodney McLeod had a game-winning interception for us in this game where he dived for the ball in the end zone and was able to come down with an interception. Now, defensively, T.J. Edwards had 7 tackles, 6 tackle assists. Anthony Harris, 4 tackles, 2 tackle assists. Alex Singleton, 4 tackles, 4 tackle assists. Avonte Maddox, 4 tackles. Rodney McLeod, 3 tackles, 2 tackle assists, including that, like I said, the game-winning interception. Josh Sweat, 3 tackles, 2 tackle assists. He had a sack and a half, 1 tackle for a loss. Fletcher Cox, 2 tackles, 2 tackle assists. He was also credited for half a sack. Darius Slay, 2 tackles. Steven Nelson, 2 tackles. Javon Hargrave, 2 tackles, 3 tackle assists, including a tackle for a loss. Jannard Avery, 2 tackles, 1 tackle assist. He also had a sack and a tackle for a loss. Marcus Epps, 2 tackles. Darrell Barnett, 1 tackle, 1 tackle assist. Milton Williams, 1 tackle, 1 tackle assist. Cameron Malvo, he had a tackle assist. Special teams wise, Jake Elliott was 2 for 2, including his longest a 42-yard field goal. He was 2 for 2 on extra points. Sipos had 2 punts for 37 yards, averaging 37 yards a kick. His longest was 39 yards. Kick returns, Keenan Gainwell had 2 returns for 10.5 yards. His longest was a 21-yard return. Jalen Reagor had 1 return for, he averaged 7 yards. It was just 1 return, so just 7 yards for that return. So, yeah, Eagles get the job done. You know, it wasn't pretty. It was one of those nitty-gritty, grindy, NFC East type of games. You know, those games that come down to the final, the final minutes of the game. It wasn't pretty, but at the end of the day, you gotta win. You have to win those unpretty games, those games where it's a absolute fight to the very end. That's what this game was. Eagles did what they had to do to get the job done. So I take it. 9-7. We just need a little bit more help. We could clinch a playoff game. We could clinch a playoff spot today. You know, I know one game for sure. We need the Green Bay Packers to beat the Minnesota Vikings, which I think is definitely a possibility. But they don't play until tomorrow evening. I believe them. I think we might need another team to be another team. I can't remember for sure. But the Eagles are right there. They are right there on the doorstep of a playoff spot. I'm proud of this team, man. Coming to the season, I was expecting this to be a rebuilding season, which it still is, don't get me wrong. But I was expecting this to be a team that was going to take their growing pains, which they have. But if you would have told me that, going to the season that the Eagles would be in Week 17 in the 7th seed of the playoffs, on the doorstep of making the playoffs, I would have thought you was crazy. Because I did not expect this team to be even in the playoff conversation this late in the season. But here we are, man. Here we are. The NFL is a crazy league. Nick Sirianni and the Eagles have completely turned this season around. It was just a mess early in the season, which is what I expected from a rebuilded team. But they have turned things around. The running attack continues to be very effective for us. We are the #1 run offense in the league. That is our strength right now, and we are winning games. In large part because of that. But my biggest MVP of today's game goes to the defense. If you would have told me in the first half I would have been making them the MVP of this game, I would have said, no, that's not happening the way they played in that first half. But that second half, they played nearly lights out. They kept the Washington football team off the scoreboard the entire second half. And then when we needed them to make a play, like they say, defense wins championships, they rose to the occasion. and Rodney McLeod intercepted Trevor Heineke. So, gotta give the defense the respect they deserve. A rough first half. Like I said, we were down 7-16. Second half, we come back. offense get it going a little bit better. 2 touchdowns in the second half and the field goal. That was all we needed to get this W. So, Eagles took the lead 17-16 in the late in the third quarter and never gave up the lead after that. So I'm happy. Not a pretty win, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. We're 9-7. We're gonna finish with for sure win the season this year. Big game next week against Dallas. It all depends on the clincher situation. I'm not quite sure what Dallas is gonna do next week. It all depends on, because right now Dallas is trying to play for that first seed. So I'm not quite sure if they're going to be in the conversation next week for that first seed. But if they are, then obviously they'll play their starters. But if they're not, I don't know what they'll do, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, man, if you want to win, you gotta go against the better teams in the league. And as much as I despise Dallas, overall they're playing some good football. So that loss against Dallas earlier in this season absolutely hurt. I believe that was back in week 3. It'll be so nice to go and get a win against Dallas and split the season, series. But I'm not gonna get too far ahead of myself. I'm gonna enjoy this win. The Eagles are 3-2 in the division right now. We beat Dallas next week. We'll finish the season with a 4-2 record against the in this division. So when I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, man, I think overall this guy's a pretty solid quarterback. I'm still not 100% sold on him, but I do think, I absolutely do think with some more time and experience that Jalen Hurts is going to get better. So I'm not ready to sit here and crown him as our franchise quarterback just yet. I'm not ready to do that, but I am starting to see, that this kid, the amount of passion and the amount of heart this kid plays with, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So, hopefully, as we continue to put weapons around him, he gets better, because I think he's definitely earned the right to at least have another season as a starter. Obviously, if we make the playoffs, our season will continue. So, it's still an evaluation on Jalen Hurts, but what I'm seeing out of him, I'm definitely seeing potential. I'm definitely seeing a guy that if we continue to build around him, continue to put weapons around him, he's going to get better. That's what I'm seeing out of Jalen Hurts, But I'm not 100% sold on him. I told you guys my opinion of Nick Sirianni. I'm still not the biggest Sirianni fan. But ever since he started listening to what we were saying, the fans, and he started running that football, things have been getting better for the Eagles. They have won their 4th straight game. Let's make it 5 next week against the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm going to enjoy this win. I'm going to get back to watching some football. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to get back to just enjoying the rest of my day. But, Eagles sweep the Washington football team for the first time since 2019, beating them by a score of 20-16. All 16 of Washington points came in the first half. So great job by the defense of shutting down the Washington football team's offense in the second half at getting a game-winning interception at the end. That's if I heard a little screaming, that's my brother downstairs. He's a Cowboys fan, so when he's screaming like that could usually mean a good thing. Let's cross our fingers it stays that way, right? He's a Cowboys fan, so whenever he's upset, it makes me very happy. Put it that way. But yeah, man, 9-7 on the season, 2016 win over the Washington football team. Eagles are in good position right now to get that 7th seed and get to the playoffs, which, regardless of what we do in the playoffs, it's great experience for these young players on this team, getting that playoff experience. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. As always, go Birds. Let's enjoy this win against Washington, this sweep against Washington, and let's get ready for Dallas next week. Fly, Eagle, fly. Peace.
To victory. That's all, folks.